Blessings. Come on in and do share. Welcome. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome to the Love Walk Approach with your host, me, Apostle Shalonda Treasure. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for joining us, whatever day this is, whatever hour, whatever year. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to those of you who have shown up today. This is June 29th, 2025. And you are here, and you are live, and you are present, and you are waiting to hear what it is that we are going to be discussing in today's episode. Today's episode is about love and action. Well, how about love is action? Go ahead and invite somebody to join you in this space. Invite your loved ones to come in here so they can become loved ones as well of ours at Love Walk Outreach. And we just want you to really get ready to dive into today's episode. So go ahead and grab your journal as you're inviting others. Go ahead and grab your journal so you can take notes. I'm going to give you a few minutes to go ahead and get some people in this space, in this room, and then we are going to do our breathing. I'm going to get ready to dive in. I was doing a flyer for the podcast, and I'm going to get back to it later, but I was doing a flyer for the podcast, and I was thinking of the mantra, right? Because I hadn't done that. I know that Love Walk Outreach Global, our mantra is, basically closer walking starts with and is maintained with love, right? Love Walk Outreach Global is the name of the ministry itself. But I wanted to get a mantra for this particular podcast so that we can just kind of say, this is what we're doing here. Y'all come on in and do share. Come on in and do share. And so I was thinking, and I'm thinking, like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here on this podcast? What is the purpose of it? Why are we not doing a typical Sunday morning service? Why am I no longer doing Sunday fellowship? And what are we doing in this space that's different from everything else that we're doing? What's the importance or the relevance of the podcast? And so I was thinking about it, kind of wanting to put something in there to, I don't know. I know we sit around and we try to figure all this stuff out and try to make it, to where it's this perfect idea. And I think that, you may just see the idea change every single time. And the reason is because I think, being the host, bringing my energy, bringing my vibe, whatever, to the space means that, everything won't be routine all the time. And us having our podcast being at a specific time on Sunday, of course, that's strategic so that everybody can kind of tune in. But yeah, I'm random. Love is all consuming. It encompasses everything. So in my thoughts, if it's something next week different than it is this week, then it's probably because somebody needs to get that, right? Well, when it came to the mantra, I said, well, I do want something that can be kind of concrete. And so I needed to be big enough that it stretches beyond now, right? Like it's saying something, but it's stretching beyond today. And so I wrote out, I want to make sure I say it verbatim. Hello to each and every one of you. Come on in the room and do share. Go share with your loved ones, those that you believe that are on this same mission to grow and to heal the heart and to heal the land, right? Heal the land both inward and outward. And that is what I came to in my my thoughts, my idea about what the mantra should be. And in the chat, for those of you who are okay with chatting today, in the chat, and it's simple, it's not really major, it's just, it's just simple, it's simple, something simple that you can kind of remember. Let me know if this resonates as far as this this podcast is concerned. All right, give me a second. I know I'm talking about healing the land. So let me see. I'm pulling it up, y'all. So while I'm pulling it up, let me see if I can try to remember. Maybe I can get it halfway right because it's inspired. It was in the moment, but I want to know what you think. So I'm offering up to you. Hey, y'all. Come on, say hello to me in the chat so I know that y'all here, that y'all are listening. Let me know if you shared with others. And start communicating. Y'all know I have chats. Well, thank you so much, Miss Destiny. Welcome to the podcast. You don't really need no welcome since, this your fam. It will not pull up fast enough. All right, so let me see if I can think. Where we are. Oh gosh, we are. I can't remember. I draw blanks. Blessings, Nadia. I draw blanks. All right, so I'm gonna just wait for it to come up. I don't know why it's taking so long to come up on the thing, but so today's topic is love is action, and we are diving into this is what the sixth pillar of the love walk approach. If you have not already ordered your copy of What If God Is All of Us, considering the love walk approach to social justice and global healing, then I need you to go ahead and grab that over there on Amazon and begin to dive into the text. Then you'll know even more so what these 9 pillars are, which over time may adjust. There may be more, you never know. But right now we have 9 pillars, and we've already gone through the first 5. Last week we discussed walking in accountability, and we've talked about living with vibrant empathy. That was number 1 pillar. We've talked about generous forgiveness, right? Or offering forgiveness, but in a generous way. In other words, 70 times 70. These are the things that we learned for ourselves so that we can apply them so that our hearts will shift and change. And then we talked about valuing oneness, and we talked about embracing inclusion. And so today we are talking about we're talking about love being action, because you know that I believe, and this is me, however your derivative of this belief is, it's okay, but I believe that God and love are synonymous. So when I talk about love, this is my way of giving others a way to understand this process of what many may call soul salvation or soul reconciliation or any of those things. When you're talking about being saved, all of those things are trying to describe a journey going from a heart that is tainted, that makes decisions out of rather brokenness or misinformation or lack of knowledge or whatever. We make all of these decisions growing up, which is okay because we're developing, we're growing, we're maturing. But at some point you have to come to yourself, and then you begin to realize, hey, something about my life needs to change. Something about my environment needs to change. Something about my health needs to change. Something about my emotions need to change. Something about my environment or my religious practice or something needs to change. Because you're feeling a level of suffering that is unbearable almost. Most people come when, hey, this is just too much. I don't know what's going on. I need, my life to be different. And what you're really doing is turning away from one thing to something that is more beneficial. Turning away from one thing to something else that is more beneficial. Many of you, those of you who grew up in religious practices where it was more fundamental and it was more strict and it was more, there was really no room to grow or to learn beyond what they knew. Then you have a lot of things that are being torn down now to be built back up, and you're finding yourself. Many people are going to counseling, they're going to therapy, coaching, going to seminars, all these things. We go to all of these things just to come to the place where we're saying, I need to turn away from this thing in order to have that. And so when we're talking about love, I had to turn away from some things in order to really live the truth of this message. And so when you start to live the truth of your message, you have gone through it yourself. You have gone through it yourself. You have gone through it yourself. And so I had to come to the understanding, yes, there's been wisdom along the way, and the wisdom is good, and the wise counsel is great, but you're living this experience, and then something says, hey, this is too much, this is suffering, this is hell, I don't want this. And so you then go to be rescued. You either go to a building and you cry out, you're asking somebody, help me, help me, help me. Within yourself, you're like, man, this is too much. So help me, help me, help me, God. And you're going through the motions. That is what we consider to be like that point where everybody's like, I want to be saved from this, right? And a lot of times it may be after the dark night of a soul, where you're going through the pressures of growth and expansion and all of that. And you feel like maybe you're going through one of those things where your life is just in shambles because of decisions that have come along the way, not just your own decisions but others. It's trial and error. And so now you're here at this place and you're like, I just don't want to feel this way anymore. I need something more. Well, God and love are synonymous to me. Love is the word or the name that I have for God. I am that I am. And love is all consuming, just like God is all consuming. And so we teach these lessons from a perspective that you may be able to try on for size, right? I love. What does it mean to love? Well, we're learning that. We're growing in that, right? We're going to look at different things to show us what love, what it means. And today is no different. So love is action. God is action, means to me that love is not stagnant, it's not still. And if love is stagnant or still, there's a purpose. Love is not stagnant or still, but if it is, there's a purpose. And even in the stillness, that's an action. Everything about love, everything about God is strategic. Everything is on purpose. Everything, we're talking about the intelligence of this great creation or expression. Love is all that. Yes, it is, Nadia. Oh, I think it pulled up. I'll tell y'all what I was kind of thinking as far as the words. And it wasn't even that complicated. Y'all gonna be like, oh, that's all you was trying to remember? Yes. I pray for you, girl. All right. So love is action means, it's a doing thing. It works. So we are all love incarnate. God is love. God is omnipresent, meaning everywhere at once, can't be separate from anything, always present. Absent from nothing. Absent from nothing. Absent from no thing. Right? Absent from no thing. And so therefore we are not just these little pawns walking around or puppets walking around. We are unique expressions of the great I am. We are unique expressions of love. And so as you are a unique expression of love, our love walk approach mantra is love walks among us, as us, that's you, me, them, for us, for me, you, and them. All right. I am love incarnate. You are love incarnate. And we serve each other. We are here one to another as unique expressions because God is made manifest in all things. This is how I like to see it. God is literally just answering to himself. Oh, you want to eat today? Sure, let's eat today. You want to, God is having this great big old experience. And the way it really is illuminated to me is kind of like with us. We have a body. Right? And our body has all of these different components. There are studies for pretty much every part of our physical beings because there's so many different parts. You have people that specialize in the different areas. Our bodies are made up so intricately. The details are amazing, but there's so much happening on the inside of us, even to just be able to talk. Yes. Yes, y'all. That's exactly right. It flows. Why? Because it has all these parts and it must be attentive to each of the parts. Each of the parts have significance. Each of the parts have significance. Each of the part has significance. And there's always action happening in the body so that the whole body can stand. The feet are there. So that the feet and the legs are connected, the ankles are there. So that the bottom portion of your leg and the top portion of your leg can exist together, the knee is there. You got to bend. Inside your knee, there's cartilage and other things that it needs to be able to function properly. All of these different parts, and of course I can go on and on because every detail is important. The tongue in itself looks like one member, but when you look on the tongue, you see taste buds. Because if you, and I don't know if you ever had it happen, but when my tongue goes through it goes through like I can't even explain it, but you can see where there are absolutely no taste buds in certain parts of on my tongue. I don't know how it happens, what happens. I'm sure it's a name for it. But there are times when I have, and I can tell when it starts happening because all of a sudden I'm not able to taste my food the way that I want to, or the way that I could. What does that mean? The taste buds even have a purpose. How many taste buds are on your tongue? Can you number them? It all works together. We all work together. It all works together. It all works together. If one part of the body is off track, then the other parts of the body compensate the best way they know how. So love is action. The heart continues to beat. That is action. Well, what is it doing? It's distributing blood to all the parts. The other parts. It's feeding. It's feeding everything else. And it's not complaining about feeding the rest of the body. Love is action. The brain has so many different components to it. And of course, I learn more and more about the brain because of the bipolar 1 and ADHD. And I want to know the functions. I want to know what's happening in the brain. I want to know how everything is firing off. I want to know why the left side of my brain doesn't function like the right side of my brain. Right. And so and there are those. There are some who have both, and I do have both, but one side operates a little bit better than the other, right? But we want to know these are the details. It's a body, and every part of the body is in action. Absolutely. And if one part of the body is not taking action, the other parts will compensate as long as it can. When that part of the body is tired and it can no longer function, then it transitions, means that it goes from having a functional use to now being memorialized. But you can remember, to love is not just something, and we're reframing the word love because so many people feel like the word love is so cliche now and it doesn't mean anything. And that's because everybody put their twist on it just like we all do. But whatever it is, we're trying to understand. But God being love being the omnipresent one, love being what we are incarnated to be, who we are at the essence and the core of ourselves. That's the reason why the strong bear the infirmity of the weak. I've said it before. To bear the burdens of one another is to fulfill the law of Christ. And if I'm to let this same mind be in me that was also in Christ Joshua, he understood that each part works different, but each part must do its part in order for everything to function well. So love is action. Love is action. Hey, I got it. It pulled up. Where we are contributing, this is it, the Love Walk Approach podcast, where we are contributing to the healing of the land, inward and outward, one conversation at a time. Where we are healing, where we are contributing because I wanted to be very clear that we're not the end all be all of everybody's conversation about spirituality or about life. We just doing our part. Talked about love being action, right? What part do I play? What part do you play? And do you realize that we all play a different one? So nope, my thing ain't gonna look like your thing. But what can I do as this unique expression of love? Awakening to the fullness of self. For the kingdom of God is within me. The kingdom of love is within me. And I have to be able to clean up this kingdom because so much has come in. So much debris, so much hate, so much biases, so many ideas opposite of what really rung true for me. So I got to go in there and start cleaning up the streets and start fixing the buildings. And I would say get the graffiti out the buildings, but no, I won't, because I like graffiti. And I think that it belongs in my kingdom. Well, I don't like graffiti. It's okay. You don't have to like graffiti, but I absolutely like it. I love it. I think it's powerful when people get to create in a way that seems so tough to other people. People who do graffiti, they have something in their hands or something in their minds, the ideas to get up there and do it. So in my kingdom, there are graffiti walls. In my kingdom, everybody plays a role. It's a community. And I'm working every day to get my community, to get my inner self in alignment and in sync. Because when my body, when the full expression of love shows up through me, then my actions, oh God. See that in anybody who knows me already knows this to be true, but just imagine the more that I awaken to this truth and in the fullness of this message of love, inclusion, and oneness, and unity, and peace, and all of that, right? All the stuff that Jesus was trying to say that we ignored while repping his name. I want to be able to get it all in alignment, because once it's in action, though, again, those who know me, my thought about being a multimillionaire when that time comes is not about everything that I can do alone. Because of course I want to travel. I want to take my husband all over the world because he likes to see things. He's an explorer. He likes to check out things and see the beauty of God's creation. He loves all of that. So I want us to go, and I want us to do things, and I want us to take vacations with the kids, and I want to take the team, and we just go wherever we want. I want to be able to do those things. But more than anything, my thought process is about how I can be love in action to those who have a deficit. Strong bearing the infirmity of the weak. And please hear me. That's the same for all of us. We all have a strong and we all have a weak. And in perception. In other words, we all have the thing that we know, we solid in, we're sure about, we're confident in, we know we're good at it, we can do it with our eyes closed, no pressure. It feels good to do it. We love it, all that. And then there are other parts, but you got to be able to know how to play yours. Love is action. How do you live out love is action? Love is action. How do you live that out, right? If you are love incarnate and love is action, what are you doing? Well, you're not showing up to be anybody else but yourself. And if you don't know who you are and what you bring and what you offer and how that impacts others and what it can do to be strength for another, then you're not aware yet of the impact that your action, you as love, have no idea the impact that it could have. And so you got to be able to tap in, go within yourself. I want you right now, and we were supposed to do our breathing or whatever. We'll do it at the end. But I want you right now to just sit and think about yourself, because love is, I just leave it. Love is, I know it sounds like silence, but it's not. It really, it's silence, but it's really speaking so much volume. Love is, and you're a part of that. It's not an arrogant thing to say. It's a very real and beautiful thing to say. It acknowledges everything that God intended for you to come to the awakening and the understanding of what it all means when you're doing this work on your heart, and you're looking for the places where you're still angry or you're unforgiving or you have all of these things that can prohibit you from being a part of this, the greater whole. You isolate yourself, you put yourself away without the joy of wanting to contribute to something bigger than you. And you go through these motions, and your streets of your kingdom are all full of debris, and you think it's so clean and neat. But inside that heart of yours, inside the kingdom within you, whoo, shit. Inside that kingdom within yourself, inside that heart of yours, you begin to see yourself as love made manifest, love incarnate. And all of a sudden, thinking about the actions is different now. Because though I'm here to introspect myself and to grow and to expand and to come into the truth and the fullness and the wholeness of who I am, there's something more than me as a unique expression. Because guess what? I'm talking to you. You, unique expression of love, Destiny. You, unique expression of love, Nadia. You, unique expression of love to all of you who are tuning in and listening. LaMonica, blessings. You're a unique expression of love. And I'm going to say this to you, and I don't know why my prophetic is kicking up real strong right now, but I'm going to say this to some of you that are listening to me. When you come into the truth and the fullness and the wholeness of who you are, love incarnate, this is the mind of Christ, who found it not robbery to count himself as equal with God, because he understood it wasn't about arrogance to say that. It was really giving reverence and honor to the great I am, because any other thing is limited. Putting God in a box, that's limited. Believing that God is only the God of your understanding, that's limited. But Jesus understood something that we're all trying to get to understand. There's a purpose for me in this earth. There's a purpose for you in this earth. And that's to be love as action. To bear the burdens of one another. We've learned survival mode for so long that we became distant, cold, me and mine, to the point where we forget to be love in this earth, not perfected yet, because I haven't come to the full understanding of who I am. When we talk about Jesus being perfect, and I'm not going to go ahead and go into this particular conversation too strong right now, because I'm not trying to mess up nobody's theology. But when the perfection of Jesus came from his enlightenment. Perfection in the way that we're talking about it. It came from enlightenment. His agenda, his everything was to come into the fullness of that individual that knew that I and the Father are one. That knew that what the Father says, I say. What the Father does, I do. That knew that there is no separation between me and the great I am, because there is no separation when the great I am has made himself manifest through us, as us, for us. When you show up on this podcast, when you show up at any event I'm doing, when you show up for a group coaching, when you show up for any of the listening to my spoken word, reading one of the books, any of those things, you have unconsciously acknowledged the fact that me showing up, the expression of love known as Shalonda, is meant to say what God says and do what God does concerning you. Concerning myself too, but concerning you. God calling unto himself. I know the need. I see their need. I understand their need. Hey, I'm trying to get you to play your role, because their need needs what you have. When y'all come and y'all listen, whatever that weak area, and it may not even be, you may just want to keep up the momentum, keep up the stamina, and so you come just to get strengthened and to stay strengthened and to not go down too many notches. But when you show up, you're saying, understand that this part of God's expression is going to speak something, say, or do something that is necessary to bear my burdens, that is necessary to be the strength to my weakness, because it is an all thing. Love as action is me showing up as me, so that what I carry, you can partake of. That's action. It's not just talking about it, not just thinking about it, but it's showing up in the full uniqueness of you, so that you are for those who need to understand it the way you give it. The inner land, the inward land and the outward land both need nourishing. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. It means something. It means something. When you go in front, let me go back. Loving your neighbor as yourself, it puts you on equal playing field. And some of y'all not gonna want to hear this, because we have already started adopting this idea, and I'm not trying to sound churchy right now, but I will say that conformity to the world or everything outside of you, that way of thinking, is all survival mode, right? All survival mode, all competition mode. I gotta get it. 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 And so, and it's me first. Well, not just first, but it's me. It's all about me. It's all about me. So I gotta love me better than I love you. No, love as. And what that means is, I'm willing to give you the very same courtesies, favor, understanding, empathy, love, nourishment, whatever, as I would give to myself. Because you deserve nothing less than what I would give to myself. It's as if they were you. As if they were me. Because they are. As if they were me. Because they are. Because God is all things. Because we're just unique expressions, but that doesn't change the fact that we're all part of one great big whole that needs to function together in order for the inner land and the outward land to be healed. When Christ Joshua was walking the earth and he was teaching, they called him all type of things. They plotted to kill him. They killed him, all these different things, because he was speaking something that made them feel uncomfortable. When you are learning, you take the meat, you leave the bones. If there's something you agree with, you can do more research and see if it fits your life. If it does not, it's okay. Because guess what? The heart has a different treatment plan. Y'all, I don't want to keep being repetitive, but y'all get where I'm going. The heart has a whole different treatment plan than the brain. The brain has a whole different treatment plan than the feet, because they have different functions. The brain can't make the heart be a brain. The heart can't make the liver be a heart. I can't make Nadia be a Shalonda. And I can't make a LaMonica be a Destiny. And I can't make a Love Walk Outreach Global be a part of this house. Every function matters for who it matters for. But I won't know if what you have is for my weakness, if your strength is hidden. I need your action. Somebody type it in the chat. Love is action. Love is action. Love is Action, love is action, and I'm taking action, love is action, love is action, love is action, and I'm. Listen, you are not just an happenstance. So when I say love is action, just like if I say God is action, love is action, I'm saying that God is action. God moves, God does everything all the time, right? There's nothing not moving for the most part. There's movement everywhere. Even the thing that looks stagnant and still, it's still frequency and it's still moving. Ah, God. Oof. Y'all, I'm sorry. I'm getting heavy revelation while I'm sitting here. I'm trying to get through. Heavy revelation is hitting. I'm just hopefully it can flow out and just I can put it down on something, on paper or something. But when I say that, God and love are synonymous. And for the sake of comfort, this is the reason why I say love. Love, you are love incarnate. Because it makes people uncomfortable. Some people, it makes them uncomfortable to hear me say that you are God incarnate. But if I have the same mind in me that was in Christ Joshua, then I understand that means I'll leave it there. But because you are love incarnate, and because love is action, it means you must show up as action. God loves me through you. God loves you through me and anybody else that adores you. One to another. And it may feel uncomfortable. It definitely feels uncomfortable because people are people. They're growing. They're going through their own stages. They have their own ideas. Again, heart, brain, two different things, right? And so it clashes. But when you begin to look through the lenses of that who you are, everything changes. All of a sudden, I'm not in a rush anymore because me being in a rush might cause me to hurt you. I may run you over. I may trip you up. When I'm rushing, I'm not mindful. Not saying that we don't rush. Just follow where I'm going. When we do things absent-mindedly, right, without consideration that we are a part of a greater whole, then we see the results that we see right now. Everybody feeling like they're doing the right thing by other people. And if you ask those other people, the other people feel like, they are all right, except for everybody has an opinion. But we are one. And we are love incarnate. And our journey is to reveal that more and more and more and more every day. More and more and more every day. When you leave this podcast today, what's going to be different about your approach? If love is action, God is love, God is omnipresent, therefore love is omnipresent. Everywhere at once can't be absent, which means, hey, love is me. And I'm awakening to the fullness of that message every day. And that means that I need to know my unique skills, my natural abilities, what makes me a unique reflection, so that I can offer it to you. So I can offer it to those that have a need. So I can show action. After you leave this broadcast today, what's going to be different about your approach? What's going to be different about how you respond? Get your healing if you need your healing, so your mind is not consumed with what was, and that it's not consumed with what's coming. Let's go ahead and take our deep breaths. Thank you, Miss Destiny, for partnering with us today. I appreciate you, girl. Always and forever. Always and forever. I can see your laugh. I just can hear you. That's crazy. It's crazy that I know when you're going to laugh. That's even more crazy. The fact that you ain't stopped laughing yet as I'm talking, because you just kind of like, it's interesting. But I appreciate you, and I bless your seed today. And I thank you, oh God, for giving her the strength and the ability and the insight to do with honor what most literally are not even concerned about from day to day. Thank you for her life. Thank you for the advancements of her growth. Thank you for the expansion of her ideas. Please don't allow her to get overwhelmed. And if she is overwhelmed, allow her to tap into the very essence of who she is today and be action. Ooh, God. Tap in and be action. Oh, love arise, love arise, love arise. And be action. In your home, Destiny, be action. In your heart, in your mind, be action. Be action. Do something about it. Do something. I pray that it is blessed, and that even before this day and this week and this month is over, that you will see the fruit of your labor, that you will see the fruit from the seeds that you've sown, and that your hope will not make you sick because of its deferment. It is well, and you're being developed. I want you to really consider what it means to be love as action. You're still trying to wipe away this certain ideas and thoughts. I get it. Trying to make this make sense sometimes, and I'm not saying that it doesn't make sense to you, because it probably does. But there's still some things that need to be uncovered and opened up to you. And in order for God to do that, you got to get everything in the flow for you. Your home should not be a place of unrest. And anything or anyone, tell my son I love him, anything or anyone who is in unrest, love can bring it to rest by just simply being love. Whatever you need for each individual in your life as love is going to know what each person needs. And you'll have peace to be able to be who you need to be. And if you can't be it, then guess what? Love is everywhere. So there may be another portion of love that can assist them. But your focus is peace. Even if people think that you're sitting around and you're not doing enough and you're not being productive enough and you're not this and you're not that, you just look and you say it's okay. Because the crazy part is that you so super busy all the time and moving and doing everything, and just say you super productive. Not just busy, but you actually productive. You're getting stuff done every day while trying to figure out your business, while trying to figure out how you're gonna, be the armor bearer that you need to be. Having all these inquiries. How am I gonna be the best armor bearer if I don't feel like I'm the best mom? How am I gonna be anything? Peace to your inner environment first. so that it can exude on out. If you need to mute a conversation, mute a conversation. Sometimes that mute is going to come from you first. And you're just going to come and you're going to say, listen, this is all right. I said what I said. I meant what I said. These are the contingencies. If this can't be fulfilled, then these are the contingencies. Because you're free. You're free not to abide. You're free not to like what I do here. So you can make a life for yourself. I'll still be present. Love as action. Love is action. So love will do something about it. And this is not about fighting and making other people feel stupid or make them feel like they're not good enough or any of that. It's not about any of that. It's about you living out the fullness of your truth. It'll only be that which you are in agreement with. It is well. It is well. It is well. It is well. Love is action. Somebody type it out again in the chat. Love is action. And when I'm talking about love, I'm not just talking about this idea that we have of love, because we've said that before. Ooh, love is action. Love is an action word. Well, why? Because it's always moving. God is always moving. So when I talk about love, I'm not just talking about our idea, our limited view of it. I'm talking about agape. I thought about naming God agape, just because it makes sense to me. I'm talking about the ultimate intelligence. Talking about the source, spirit, Yahweh, Jehovah. All the names that you know it to be. That is action. So it's fair. It's just. It doesn't allow for harm. So love does no ill to its neighbor, because it understands that its neighbor love is action. Anybody else that want to partner with us today, what you are partnering with is a vision, a movement, an organization that simply desires to see the world healed so that we can be happy. See the world healed so that even when grief comes, it's short-lived, because there's an understanding that is different. It sees transitions as opposed to losses. Love is action. Love is unbiased. It's unbiased. Isn't it interesting? Isn't it interesting that most people want everything to be personal, carry victim mentality around because it's personal, carrying all type of different things around with us because it's personal. But we don't respect other people to need personal. Love is unbiased because it sees and understands every single personal. Love moves different. Love forgives. It's action. Love only wants what's best. Joseph said to his brothers when they showed up at the palace, he said, what you meant for evil, God meant for good. So the highest and best was for Joseph to be in position to be able to feed them. And yeah, the stuff that happened before it to get him to that place seemed real foul, real cruel. But it's life. We know life. We've lived through it too. All to get us to the destination. Or not even just the destination, but to the place of purpose. Love gives. Love gives without expectation. Love gives simply because there's a need or desire. Love honors, never to dishonor, because love understands what it feels like to be them. All the unique expressions. So let me do unto others as I would have them do unto me. So it gives. Now, as human beings, should we understand principle? Absolutely. Whatever you sow, you reap. But that is an internal principle that should be set in stone within you so that it guides your actions towards others every day anyway. So if you sow, you reap. I don't have to think about it. I watch how I govern myself. For the most part, I try my best to. Even with mental health things, which, by the way, could just simply be my personality. Who knows? Right? As a unique expression, I still try to be as mindful as possible as to how I treat others. And not because I'm thinking about sowing and reaping, but simply because I understand the principle. You don't want to suffer, don't make other people suffer. You don't want, you're going to suffer, and that's when, you do the work to get out of the suffering. But love doesn't have to debate about whether it's going to give. Because if you look around, all you see is abundance. There's abundance everywhere. There is no lack. Finding it, hoping God sends it, all of that may be one thing, but there is no lack. If there were, how could we get the products that we pay money for? How could we get the services that we pay money for? They already exist. And in people's livelihoods, they use them as resources. And so honor their livelihood. Love gives. Love holds no account of wrong. It's action. It lets go. It lets it go because it understands again. Love comforts. But love also, listen, love listens to wisdom. And it gives unlimited wisdom. Nothing is hidden from you if you really want to know. Just got to be prepared for the answer. It seeks peace. Love seeks peace for all. Not just for me and mine. Not just for my neighbors, my cousins and them. Not just for my mom and them. But for all. There was a place where Jesus was talking in the scriptures and his mom found him after he had done walked away. and started going to do what he was doing at 12 years old, right? He was about his father's business, he said. He was action. But when somebody said to him something, your mother and your brothers are here, he said, my mother and my brothers are those who do the will of the Father. So all, because those that are doing the same will, living the same life of love, are family. So that's why love is unbiased. Love assists by correcting. And then love empowers with that correct. So it's not just angry outbursts correcting. With love and kindness have I drawn thee, so the correction should be a little bit different. And then when you are overwhelmed and you snap or you spaz out or everything is just too overwhelming and you are acting unseemly, acting out actions based on your feelings and emotions, guess what? Love is patient, and love is grace, and love is mercy. Love is action. I'm glad you did that, Nadia, because I wanted to say it, but God told me not to, and to let you follow the promptings within your spirit. And you got to do that more often. You're a giver by nature, especially with those that you have great connections with. But there are intentional things that you must do in this season so that you are paving the way for your actual liberation when it comes to business, when it comes to working, when it comes to anything financial. You are not supposed to be trying to figure out money because you are too good with it. In other words, and when I say good with it, I'm talking about your understanding of the different things that come along with life. A great manager of things. And money is a part of your gift. Like your ability to make money and to steward it well and all that, those are gifts. That's a gift. And when God gives somebody money, that's a strength. It's nothing but a tool. Money is not the end all be all of life. You don't have no money, you ain't gonna die unless you owe somebody something. I take that back. I don't need nobody to die because they owe nobody nothing. I'm gonna need y'all to be all right. Do better. But everything we possess is a strength. If we possess it, it's our strength. If we don't possess it, or whoever doesn't possess it, it's their weakness. Right? Well, let me say this. You ain't weak if you ain't got no money. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if you don't have something, then it's a deficit for you. If you do have something, it's a strength for you. So you're going to be doing a lot. You're going to be doing a lot of investing. You're going to be looking into different stocks, bonds, and other things. And even as you've already had certain investments through employers, God is going to teach you how to do it yourself, how to expand your investment portfolio, and eventually show others how to do the same. You are so full of purpose for helping others when it comes to life stuff, when it comes to the everyday understandings of how to save, how to save on items or whatever when you're at a time of imposition, or if you just want to take advantage of a deal. You have so many things learned that are a benefit for others, and God is going to give you financial independence because of it. So go ahead and get yourself together. You know what I'm saying? Write down these ideas, get everything pumping and working. Yes, I know that doubt and stuff like that can pop up, but because you are working more and more every day on just living by faith, because everybody has that measure, but you're working on growing your measure of faith, right? Where you believe in more possibilities, because God is a God of impossibilities. In other words, there's nothing impossible for God. There's nothing impossible. The impossibilities fade. And so therefore, as you expand, as you grow, your transitions, they're happening already. And so your life is about to be brand new. And you just get to decide whether you want that to be a happy life or whether you want it not to be one. But when you start tapping into this in an even deeper measure, and as a matter of fact, every time, and I have to be honest with you, every single time I prayed for you or prayed over your money or your seed since I've known you, God has always showed me a block. Not a blockage to how much money you can make, because you know you can get in there and do what you need to do. But the block as to how, no, yeah, I'm right. So the block as to how much you're worth as far as your intelligence, your gifts, your abilities, and all that. Like there's a block, and once you realize it and it breaks, there's no stopping your life from literally like taking on a whole new just idea. And I know you don't necessarily you just don't have to have a whole bunch of people in your space or anything like that, but I just see you in a space that I don't want to say you got servants. I don't want to call them servants. What should I call them? Hired help. Something. I see you in a beautiful, beautiful home. Beautiful landscaping in the yard, because it's almost like I'm seeing you stand outside talking to the landscapers, and then you were inside and you were talking to someone to go do something. So I'm seeing that. And so there's just this queenly glow all over you, where you're going to be very, very wealthy. And so with that being said, if there are any blockages that come to you when you think about money, when you think about seeding, giving offerings or blessing somebody's business or being a philanthropist, if you have any blockages when it comes to any of that, fix them. Fix them, because God is trying to expand you beyond what you even recognize right now. All doubt, all fear, all unbelief, we speak to those things right now, that they do not overwhelm you. They are all a second thought, because your forward motion every single day from this day forward is to remind yourself that you are a multi-millionaire, and that you are blessed to be a blessing. And that's not just a cliche statement. You are blessed financially to be a blessing financially to others that do not have the same understanding of it as you. But you're going to make way for many. So whatever the blocks are, allow God to show you, and then alleviate those. Your staff, absolutely, your staff, girl, your staff, girl, your staff, girl. That's a good word for it. Hired help is not, it's not bad, but staff sounds good. Staff sounds good. And so get ready. Open yourself up. Don't allow this word to overwhelm you in any way. As a matter of fact, it should resonate with you in a very big way. And if that resonation brings any type of anxiety or fear, don't let it, because you already are her. Like you're just uncovering her. You're just coming to take off these masks and take off this this dirt and uncover yourself, so that you can be revealed. That's why God is working on the heart matters right now, because when people of course when anybody gets wealth, you see the truth of their personality. So if they are from a place where they've gone through so much, or they feel like, I did this or I did this on my own, so now they become arrogant. It's just a lot of different things that go along with getting, your wealth. So he's working on everything concerning the heart, healing all wounds as you let him, as you allow love to heal you. Because when you walk into this next space, you're not going to want to carry none of the old stuff with you, none of the old burdens. And no, I'm not talking about the people. No, you ain't leaving all the people behind. I'm sorry. That's not what I see. But you definitely, it'll be different, because you'll be so consumed, and you love to do, you're going to love it so much when you're really in entrepreneur zone, when you stop worrying about money. You don't need to worry about stability or money, because you are gifted in this area. You will always know how to earn or how to receive. The principles of sowing and reaping are just something that you need to make sure that you are solid in. because every seed is not sown with physical actions, right? And so when you give, it's not going to be just because you see somebody has a physical need. It's going to be because God is saying, oh, by the way, you're going to meet such and such at this time and they need this for their business. Or you're going to meet such and such at this time. Or you're going to see somebody, a lady with this, you're going to do this. God is going to start doing that with you. And you're going to have to be able to be free enough within yourself. No offenses, no nothing when it comes to money. I don't know who else is dealing with this, but y'all gotta stop it, I say. You can't have a block, and I'm not talking to you right now, Nadia, I'm talking in general, but you can't have a blockage on your mindset when it comes to resources. It's all like it can go today and come tomorrow. They literally can change the value of money. If you can shift it and change it, then that means it can be alleviated too. So it's not an end all be all. It is something to be shared. It is something to be used. So whoever the blockages, just try not to. Because as you block others, as you block, put up the blocking in the walls and stuff, around your mindset when it comes to money. That's why you can't get upset when you're not getting what you want. At one time I started going through the motions with myself, like, God, this is not happening for me financially. That's not happening for me financially. Am I not doing something right when it comes to money? And he showed me, he's like, no, when it comes to the actions, you'll give it. You'll do all that. My blockages were in my mindset about it. I was afraid to get wealthy because I didn't want anybody to feel like I was leaving them behind. Yeah, it's the truth. My blockage was in my mind when it came to not wanting to feel some type of way about having more than others. My heart is empathetic. So if I'm super rich and they don't have, I'm gonna feel some type of way. So it was my blockage. It was a well-intended one, well-intended thought. I didn't want other people to suffer, but I was blocking it from coming in. But I would be pushing it out, and I still will, just pushing it out the best way that I can. But the blockage, I don't want to leave anybody behind. And so he started working with me on the blockage. Well, there are always going to be people who you transition from and people who transition from you. But it doesn't mean that it's because you started gaining or earning. Now, not from your perspective. Now, some people may feel like, oh, she thinks she's such and such now, whatever, because she got this and she got that, and she. No, but for those who, for the sake of this conversation, we're talking about those who are at least mature, when it comes to certain things. But he dealt with me. He said, so you're afraid. I get it. Your intention is to bless others. How better to bless others? You know how quick that was. See how quick that was. How? What better way to bless them than to have what they need when you meet them? I'm excited about giving. I love to see people do well. I love to give. I do. I really do. So just imagine, just like that, he just broke a bondage. He had to break another one for me. What was the other one? I grew up fundamentalist, remember? So we had a lot of conversations about money. Can't serve God and money. So subconsciously, I'm in this dilemma because I'm like, God, I want to give. People say stuff, they need stuff. I want to be able to give. And so he did it again. I don't want you to serve the money, Shalonda, but I do want you to serve with it. I don't want you to worship it like it's the end all be all of everything, because it's not, but it does answer all things. It's a beautiful gift. Treat it as such. Treat it as if it's something that you value having, right? Treat it as if it's something that you don't mind giving, because it doesn't belong to us. It just circulates through us. So we got to change our mindset about it, because we need to let everything flow the way that it needs to. So he broke it. Serve with it. How better to serve than with it? Well, of course, besides loving people, because that's actually the best thing. Give them what they need when they need it, not just whatever. But you can do so much with it, because that's how you barter and exchange in this generation. So it's okay. He had to break it. There was another one. I know I'm sharing this right now, and I pray that all of y'all are picking up what I'm putting down. Went back in my work, and I went back in my childhood work to the vision of my father, who used to preach. Preaching, I hope y'all hear me. He was a pastor, but he didn't have money on a regular. He struggled. My mom struggled. But when we would go see my dad, when he would preach in town, that would always be the thing he said to me, like, Daddy don't have no money right now, or something along those lines. I think I asked him for money once, get some snacks or something. They don't have no money right now. And so every conversation, every time we went to see him, every time I saw him, it was always, Daddy don't have no money right now. And I'm associating preacher, no money right now. Subconsciously, because of course, you got those who are going to make you feel guilty about it. You got me paying for a word. You got me paying for the gospel. You got me paying for it. No. It's called honoring the vessel. It's called coming into agreement with something that may have been said. It's called you receive something. Give something in return if you're able. But I didn't get that. I just associated everything with struggle and money. Well, with this one, God just kept taking me back to it. And I didn't have any unforgiveness. I didn't think I had any unforgiveness for my dad or whatever. But of course, he takes me through creating me a clean heart, renew a right spirit within me. I forgive all those who have ever offended me. I pray that they forgive me, right? For all things known and unknown. He took me through all of that. But a part of that, and that forgiveness was forgive him because he knew not that statement would affect you. Because I ended up feeling like, well, if he feels like that's what I'm wanting all the time from him, maybe that's the reason why he's not always around, or he doesn't come around. Maybe he feels like somebody's expecting something from him that he doesn't get. And I went through all these different thoughts and empathetic thoughts in my mind about my dad and his way of being. God took me through them all. Well, it's all that I know of. But he allowed me to see him as a human being. Of course, in many occasions, right? Going through forgiveness. I had to look at him as a real human being. I had to understand that he was dealing with a population, or dealing with people in the marginalized communities, right? So they weren't always able to give. And he sometimes would work other jobs, like he would drive cars and do all these different things, which of course, when you are a spiritual, a person spiritually employed, or as a pastor or whatever, you don't need to do two things, because you can't focus on or give your full attention to the first job. So that would take him away from fully being invested in being a pastor, because he had to go do other things to compensate. Y'all see how that happens? A person who is dedicated to a job, they should be able to do that job and live and survive off of it. But he wasn't able to do that. So I had to look through all those things. And then after all of looking through everything, God simply said, but you don't have to be that. But you don't have to be that. In other words, don't be the thing that hurt you. Don't look at him in his way, because at the end of the day, number one, he's gone physically from the earth. So, but also, what you holding something against somebody else? They're trying to make it through just like you. And I never held a grudge, but he's just talking to me now, just helping me to understand the mindset of us sometimes. You don't have to be that. Who did I say you were? And even because God would show me stuff. Of course, he tried to get my father to understand, or to get a better understanding. But when you've been indoctrinated to believe that you have to be able to be broke and suffer in order to live with God, that's hard to break. So if it was already difficult for him to break, then there's no need for me to hold it. Okay, what you gonna do, Shalonda? Well, I want to be a blessing to the world. I want to do your bidding, God. I want to know myself as love incarnate, so that I can be your hands, your feet, your everything in the earth, because we are. Through you, we move and we have our being. Everything about these hands, I want it to be used for love as an action. So when I'm typing, my mouth speak from love, planting seeds that things can be better if we want them to be. And I want to be a blessing, and I want to show up. And I know plane tickets cost, and I know gas costs, I know cars cost. So therefore, money should not be this conversation that's so hard for everybody. Heal the wound. Let him break all of that and open yourself up for that which God has. So as Destiny and Nadia, as y'all are partners to this ministry, two people who love me very much and who are willing to give and pour, may the blessings of God, like literally let it be a tidal wave, which means that at first it might knock you off your feet and it's gonna feel like you a little bit discombobulated, because this is what God showed me this morning. Because somebody was talking about pain, the pain of childbirth. When you are birthing a child, if you don't have an epidural, because that's a comfort that we have now that they didn't have before, but if you don't have an epidural, you literally are in pain pushing. And the pain that you're having on that last push, there is pain until the push. And once the push happens, there's still some pain. But once the baby pops out, the pain might, you got to settle. But the pain can begin to leave. All of a sudden, here's a blessing in the place of the pain. Birthing, hurting, pushing, bloop, blessing. Pain, blessing. Pain, blessing. It's going to happen just that quick for y'all. Because you're diligent. Because you're willing. So may you bless them both exceedingly abundantly, above all they could ever ask or think. Allow the truth of this message and the blessing spoken over their lives to be made manifest. Not today, not tomorrow, but today. Let them see today. Let them see today. Let them see today that it's not for nothing. It's not for nothing. It's not for nothing. It's not for nothing. Anybody else want to partner up with us? Listen, this is what we do. And when you do partner, even on this podcast, as I'm live, if you partner with us when I'm live, I will speak to you. As we grow, as we expand, sometimes we might be here even longer. I might have to do a whole nother session, but I value those who pour and give. This vision is big, it's huge, it's way bigger than anything I'll ever understand. And partnership when it comes to this ministry is important to me. So go over to coffee.com/Love Walk Outreach Global and partner with us. You can do it monthly. You can do a one-time partnership. Those that are partnering with us, as a matter of fact, I'm about to go into a new kind of devotional period with the Love Walk Outreach Global community on Coffee. So you may be getting a 7-day update. You may be getting a 21-day program or whatever. But when you're partnering with us, then you receive, it's called supporters over there at Coffee. But when you're a supporter with us, I want to be able to show my appreciation. Not because you got money, because I'm no respecter of persons when it comes to stuff like that. Believe me, you can sow $1 million in this ministry right now, and I'm still going to treat you how I treat the person with $1, because, it matters. But I do believe in being a blessing, and I want to do that for those who partner with us. So you can do that. What other announcements do I have before we get off here today? Hey, put in the chat right now. One of your key takeaways from today's podcast. One of your key takeaways from today's podcast. Type that in the chat. Type it in the chat. One of your key takeaways. Right there on your screen has just appeared a QR code where you can pre-order your copy of our upcoming book, Love as the Master Healer, A Spiritualistic Journey to Wholeness. I'm about to share with y'all some poems, some journal entries, some coaching tips in this particular book that prayerfully will change your life if you let it. But I share first. Doesn't mean that I am more important. Being first partaker doesn't mean I'm more important. It just means I'm willing to go first. And so going through the process of love, letting God love me, coming out of this space of feeling like, oh my God, my family gonna be disappointed in me. Everybody I've ever been friends with, they gonna disown me because I'm no longer teaching the same theology they were. And actually, I'm not teaching too much of a different one, just a different approach. Nevertheless, I take you there on my roller coaster ride in this particular book. And so please go ahead and pre-order your copy. As a matter of fact, if you've already ordered a copy for yourself, go ahead and order a couple of more copies right now so that you can have them to distribute to others. You can also become a sponsor, which means that your ad or your logo, business or personal, or your philanthropic or cause, you can put an ad in there that will be for the life of the book. You can leave a special tribute if you are a sponsor as well. And yeah, y'all head over there. Y'all, I'm so full right now. I'm trying to see what God is trying to do because I'm trying to talk. And it's like revelation is coming through. So please forgive me if it seems like I'm pausing. Go ahead and pre-order your copy. Order copies for others if you have not already. You can give them away as gifts, right? Let's go ahead and build this. We also, your funds, everything you do as far as pre-orders of the books, becoming sponsors or whatever, it will help us to do this book tour. Take it on the road, have conversations with people on their spiritualistic journey so they don't feel alone. It is the spiritual liberation, right? Love is spiritual liberation. It is the maturity. It's maturity. All of maturity is everything, right? But we want to make sure. Y'all back. Oh, I see a message. We want to make sure that people don't feel as if they are going through these journeys alone. Love is action and not still. It moves about and is everywhere. Love has movement. It flows in action in everything all around. Absolutely, y'all. Thank y'all for that. Nevertheless, all right. So go ahead and pre-order your copies, become a sponsor. It helps with the book tour. I think I said all that. And if you're a group where you live, you don't have to do a whole lot to host an event. But if you feel like you want to gather, you want to gather people together, you want us to come, teach, hug, be there with y'all and just really be in that space, you can go ahead and book us to come. And this is a very good place to do that too with this book. You may have a group of friends and you read it and you're like, oh my God, like we need this in our life to help us and to get direction. Well, you'll be able to do that. So grab them. Pre-order today. So yes. All right, y'all. So love is action. After today, that's the question I should have asked y'all. Instead of asking what you got out of today, which is good. But what I should have asked is, and I think I asked it earlier, but as a rhetorical question, what I should have asked is for you to type in the comments for me after you get out this broadcast today. Yep. After you get out this broadcast today, What you gonna do? What are you gonna do as love? In other words, what does God want to do through you as you? It's action. So what actions are you gonna take today after this broadcast? Right after this, what's gonna happen? So tune back in next week. Make sure, listen to me. I am going to get this flyer done, okay? I'm going to do this flyer. And I told y'all, we are a word of mouth community over here. That means that you got to invite guests, to come sit in and listen. I am going to get these flyers done. When I get these flyers done, I'm going to post them on social media. You are following me on other platforms other than this one. So when you see the flyer, share the flyer, download the flyer, send it to others. But don't just do that. Tell them why. And why you want them to know, why you think they should. And if you feel ashamed or you don't know whether you should because you're learning something, I know what it feels like to want something to be all yours when it's good, or you feel like it's good, or this is teaching me, it's helping me to grow, and you kind of want to hoard it to yourself. But be mindful, of course, that our growth depends on this. And people like testimonies. They want to know that something is something that they can actually use. So when you share, inviting people in this space, remember what we're doing. Remember what we're doing here. Yeah. 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 Remember. What are we doing here? Let me see. 7-Eleven virtual walk and book really. Oh, walk it out. Absolutely, yeah. So 7-Eleven, that's my birthday, y'all. And that's the date we will be releasing this book. And it is the day we will be doing, I think I named it Love Walkabration. Like I tried to put it all in there together. The Love Walkabration is on 7-Eleven. And so over on Facebook, we have an event page, but just be connected. Stay connected everywhere, especially on the coffee sites. If you are on the coffee sites and if you are on the event page on Facebook, if you are tuned in to get notifications on the YouTube channels or whatever, then you will get more information before the time comes. On the event page, however, you'll be able to get updates. And here's the other thing about pre-ordering. For those of you who pre-order, you actually will be getting an invitation to join me in the Zoom room, or in a setting where we can be together, and y'all are actually, I'm going to be able to see y'all walking. And everybody else will be tuning in from YouTube. But you all will be on Zoom with me and be able to, we can actually chit chat and talk, do our giveaways and all those different things. But that is for those who have pre-ordered, place their pre-orders. You'll be able to be in the room with me having conversation. And even if we in the live broadcast, you will still be on Zoom with me for whatever it is that I may want to offer after that. So pre-orders, yes, pre-orders. But if you are connected to me at Inspirational Treasure on YouTube, then it will be broadcasting live. The walk will be broadcasting live, and I'll be sharing from that perspective. But if you want to be in the Zoom room with us, with me, and having conversation and talking, chat, and maybe even getting some coaching or some prophetic insight or anything, make sure that you pre-order. All right. So that's that. I think I'm done with announcements. Love Walkabration hashtag. I love it. Remember that we are doing our best here on this platform to contribute. We just want to contribute. Strength for weakness. We want to build each other up so that strength is our name. You know what I mean? So this new heaven, this new earth, listen, it's coming whether you're present for it or not. God is this governing. Love is the governor. Love is the law. And it's going to happen whether you are present for it or not. But it would be really wonderful if you were here for it. In this moment, we're doing our thing. So be connected. We are trying to contribute. Make sure that we are contributing to the healing of the land, right? Both the inward land and the outward land, just one conversation at a time. All right. Thank y'all for joining me today. I love y'all so much just because I can. And if you can handle my silly, my deep, my emotional, all these different things, I want y'all to make sure that y'all are following me on all social media platforms. I'm just in rare form. I'm loved. And I know I'm loved as I am. And so I'm going to share from those perspectives. I've even started, I think, on my Facebook Inspirational Treasure page, sharing about a couple of clips. There's this guy who does clips about ADHD on his channel, and he's describing and explaining the life of a person who lives with those symptoms, the symptoms of ADHD. And I've even started sharing some of those things, like "Welcome to my world, honey." Like, I couldn't have said it better. And I'll probably do some with bipolar disorder and some other, and depression and some other things, inviting you into my world to see what my everyday life is like, and the struggles, the highs, the lows, the ups, the downs, and all of that. So we're going to be doing that at Inspirational Treasure. On YouTube, you will see the title. And what does the title say now? Because I changed it. I changed the name of my channel. The handle is the same. It's still at Inspirational Treasure. I didn't change that. But the name of the channel is different. It is Inspiration with Dr. Shalonda Treasure. Inspiration with Dr. Shalonda Treasure. Y'all make sure that y'all join me over there at Inspirational Treasure on Facebook, on TikTok, on Instagram. Flip, if you have Flip, at Inspirational Treasure, so that you can kind of tap in and grow, learn, be coached. And yeah. All right, I think I'm done for real this time. My fifth closing. I love y'all so much. Many, 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 many blessings to you.